So good evening and welcome to the Next Gen Season 12. We're here at round 8 for the Group A Tours and we're at Zolder. Fantastic little circuit. Should produce some interesting action. We have 14 drivers here tonight. All of them looking to try and get a win and close down the gap. On Scooby G. So you look at Envoy Extreme here. So the Scooby G leading the championship after the first 7 rounds so far. Good recovery drive at Snetterton. So, thinking of those points, let's have a look at the standings then, going into round number 8. So, Scooby G does lead the championship with 114 points, followed by Jack Team 53 Synopsis on 97. Omega's on 87, tied with Jamie at the moment for 3rd place. Slider Gas is in 5th with 81, Fraser has 78. Whitford is on 70 with Cam on 62. Edu is on 62 as well, Ars Jim is on 10. One High Mofo is currently 11th with 52, Shockshaft is on 42, Boyraxa is on 34 with Tim on 28, Mirago Slides on 25 with Adam Morris on 24, Royston's on 21 with Ginge on 11, Envoy Extreme on 8 and RDJ currently last of the 20 people on the standings. So we're here in Belgium at Zolder. It's a tricky little circuit, this. Very hard to get it right. Not a very flowing circuit, you could say almost. So we'll definitely be interested to see how the drivers handle it tonight. So Envoy Extreme goes on to another lap. Here is Edu. On board with Edu as we come up towards the final corner of Jackie X box. Some weird ass corner names going into this track, but we'll do a lap with Edu. So the first we come up to is Erst. Really, it's quite a long one, but it nips up, and a big sideways moment for the Spaniard. Then we head into Stern Wax box. Again, really long, tightening right-hander. Just nips up and then opens out into Canal box, which is absolutely flat, into Lucian Bianchi box. Little dab of the brakes and gradually bring the throttle in and get a good exit. Zedu moving the car around quite a lot to get the front end tucked in. Then we come down to the Klein chicane. Very, very tight, and you've got to be careful not to mess this up, as Edu has. He's lost the rear going in and into the wall. Do we continue? Does he continue round, or does he go into the pits? I think he's stalled the car. But we're back going again. So up Sacrament's Shelling, and then down through Butte, normally quite a fast left-hander, into the Villeneuve chicane, very very tight right left right chicane, then into Telemann box, perhaps almost flat but never touching the brakes through there, up over the crest left and then into Boulderberg box, hairpin right, very tricky if you don't get the braking quite right, through Jockenring box, which is pretty much not really a corner, it's just a flick, and then down to the final chicane of Jackie X box. Now I'll not be repeating those names all the time because they are just weird. But we're going to come to the end of the lap. Obviously it's not going to be a quick lap here for me to after that spin at the Klein chicane. So the drivers we have tonight then, we have the DK himself, Fraser, with Scooby G, Jamie FL30, Slider Gas, Adam Morris, Boy Rexer, Shockshaft, Whitford, Tim, Envoy Extreme, RS Jim, Edu, Jack, Timothy3 Synopsis, along with Shockshaft. That's your 14 runners for today. Here is Jack as he comes towards the end of his first flying lap here. After one of his laps got invalidated. See the back end trying to kick, coming out of the hairpin there. So we now come down towards the final chicane. The car looks very very loose, almost too loose at the moment. Across the line, what's he do? He puts it third place. He's 1.5 of the pace here of Fraser, who's in the 139s. Where is Omega 2? There's Omega in the number 1 car, the defending champion. I wonder what the see if we can find some records around Zolder for you, as we have 6.5 minutes left of qualifying to watch the defending champion Omega coming through. Edu now puts it second with a 140.038, fantastic time, only 0.171 off the pole. Here comes Omega across the line now, expecting a good time from him after his practice sessions. Only puts 8th place with a 142.2, so a bit of a warm up there. Jimmy FL30 creating a bit of space, ready for his next flying lap. You know, Boy Rexer in only his 3rd race is just coming out of the pits in the BMW. Jim going very drift through the second corner of the lap. So and he goes wide now through turn number 4. That's ruined his lap. Slider Gas is doing a good job currently in 5th place. But Zolder Group A facts, here we go. So pole positions in the past. Edu was last season's pole position man, with Jack in season 10, Blue Gobi in season 9, Ginge in season 8, Jack again in season 7, and Omega both in season 6 and 5. The lap record was done in the last season, or season 11, by Edu with a 139.8. Omega won this race last year, so he'll be hoping to do the same again this year. It will be very very interesting to see what will happen as Slider Gas loses the rear end and it's leading to the pits. Here comes Adam Morris in the Audi. Does go a bit faster, but stays in 8th place here. Shockshaft, there's Whitford 0 in the good old Sierra Cozzy. Let's follow him for a minute around Zolder. Not an easy car to drive. Into the chicane we go with Whitford. Here, picking up the revs on the way out. Up over the hill and down into the hairpin right for this current attempt in the Sierra Cosworth. Comes up towards the line now. What can he do in that Sierra Cosworth? Can he move it any higher up the grid than 12th? Puts it 10th, so that's not a bad effort, ahead of Boyraxa, and I believe that is the highest place two-wheel drive car so far. As we now see Omega coming through the first sector. He's not having a good qualifying session so far as Omega, and we know he doesn't really like coming through the field. So, not ideal. RSGym is now currently in second place with a 139.901, so the second man now into the 139s. Edu knocking on the door of them. Scooby G, I think, has had enough of qualifying now. I think he's already got out of the car and decided, you know what, I'll just take fourth. But if Slide Gas and Jack have anything to say about it, they will not let him be fourth. Jack comes through the final corner. Getting a bit slimy, that car really not liking it through midway through the corner at the moment and on the exit. Just go quicker, but not by enough to move him up the grid. Here comes Fraser. Into the final corner he comes in the number 12 Napalex car. Whitford right behind him. Goes across the line and doesn't improve. Here's Shock Shaft, he's about to cross the line. Doesn't improve from 10th either. Jamie F30, we haven't seen much of him in the number 55 machine. He comes into the Villeneuve chicane on his latest attempt here at Zolder. Up and around into the pretty much flat right-hander. Up over the grass into the hairpin. We come with Jamie F430. See, he's got a much more stable rear end on that. He's not trying to slide out, so hopefully we're getting a good bit of traction down coming out. Into the final chicane on his latest attempt as he comes up towards the line. He'll get one more lap in. Across the line, puts it in 6th, ahead of Jack. A good time that from Jamie F430, a 140.8. Fraser's ended his qualifying. He's currently sat in pole position. Qualifying over then. So who is the next man to cross the line? It's going to be Shockshaft followed by Omega. So here comes Shockshaft. And he's backed off, so he is no longer in this qualifying session. Omega now coming up to the final corner on his current and last attempt in the Audi. He wants to be higher up than 9th. You've got to start making some inroads into this championship. Across the line he comes, puts it in 8th, so not a fantastic qualifying there for the defending champion. Next across the line will be RSGym. Can he take pole position away? No, he can't. Just looking around now, who's next to cross the line here? I think it'll be Boyraxa now in the BMW. Down towards the line. Can he get any higher than 12th? Can he become the highest placed 2-wheel drive car? No, he can't. Here comes Jamie on his final attempt. Jack is up to 4th at the moment. Jamie puts it 5th with a good time of a 140.5. But can Jack nick pole position? He's got a 140.2 so far. Up across the line. And he doesn't do it, I don't think. I think he's going to stay there. So, the grid for the race. Fraser will start on pole by just 34 thousandths of a second from NXTGEN. Edu's in 3rd, Jack in 4th, Jamie 5th, Scooby G 6th, Slider Gas is in 7th, Omega 8th, Adam Morris is in 9th, Shockshaft 10th, Whitford Zero is 11th, Boyraxa in 12th, Envoy Extreme in 13th, and Tim rounds out the 14 drivers. Good evening, Scooby, and obviously Scooby rooting for Scooby. To be fair, Scooby's got a good chance here from 3rd place. So he's sinking then for the first race of the night in the Monday Night Tours category. And someone, I think, has already been disconnected, but that's a good start from Fraser off the line. Oh, Jack's in the wall, behind. Jack has been turned around off the start line. A nightmare of a start there for Jack Team 53 synopsis. Not what he would have wanted for the start here. Jamie's getting hung out to dry though from, but Slider Gas, he looks for 3rd place, and now Omega has had a brilliant start up into 5th now. As we now head down towards the Klein chicane. Jamie looking down the inside of Slider Gas, and he's done it. A cracking move through the chicane there. And if Slider Gas isn't careful, he's going to get overtaken by Omega, and he has been. Before the Villa chicane, Whitford's up into 6th at the moment. Jack's got a long race ahead of him. Envoy Extreme, a fantastic start from the Skyline man, although I think he's about to get a slowdown penalty. There goes Scooby, passing Adam Morris as they head into the hairpin for the first time of 15 tonight. There's Jack there. He's... I can't describe the luck. That was absolute torrid luck off the line. But Fraser drifting his way through the final corner. That could give Jim a chance up into turn 1. It's not quite enough though at the moment. So Fraser leads lap number 1 here in the Group A Tourers. Still trying to work out who got booted at the start of the race. As Jamie's coming under all sorts of pressure now from Slider Gas, and not from behind is Omega, on board with the defending champion in the Audi. Coming down towards the Klein chicane. And it's Edu. We've lost Edu in the before the race started, unfortunately. So Edu, either a disconnect or something there, causing him not to be able to start the race. Over the crest with Omega we come, and NXTGEN. Fraser has lost a load of positions. He's now down into 3rd place. Oh, and I think he's just been given a little love tap there from Slider Gas. As we now head up towards the final chicane, but NXTGEN now leads from Jamie at 430. The two are teammates in Genettas and practically teammates here. The reliable rooftop racing guys. Whitford still in sixth. A cracking effort from him so far. He's got Scooby right behind him, who has dropped a load of positions off that start line in reality. But his biggest threat is currently down in 12th place at the moment. There is Scooby, and he's got Adam Morris behind him. On board with Adam Morris in only his third race in the Group A Tours. Get through the right-hander. And that looks a good run here from Scooby. But he's on the wrong side of the Klein chicane. So maybe he'll look for a better exit. Flick it left, flick it right, then go up over the hill. And wait for defending really well on the inside here. So he'll scrabble for grip through the chicane. Here on lap number 3, and Whitford, I think, had a slow down, and he's now had to give up position to Scooby and Adam Morris as we now come into the hairpin right for the third time, and he's immediately back on the attack against Adam. Luckily Adam getting away with it, but who is that? That is Omega, who's had issues now, down into 7th place. We've also got Scooby with a penalty and Slider Gas now with a penalty. Jack back up to 11th here. Keep an eye on him, he'll be busting some overtakes through this race to try and limit the damage. Oh, and we got interesting action there. That was Whitford and Omega almost facing sideways on the track, and now Adam Morris up into 6th, Shock Shaft into 8th place right now. And he's looking at Whitford. He's not quite going to get him though unless he gets a nice switch back here. This is bringing Boy Raxer into play here, and Jack has lost a place to Envoy Extreme. Back at the front though, and RS Jim still leads here on lap number 4:15. Jamie a bit wide through the chicane. Oh, and that is a car on his roof. Whitford has retired now from the session. Got a feeling that was Shock Shaft on his roof. Interesting times then. Omega's now down to 10th. Tim up into 11th. Then he streams an 8th, and he's just massively cut that chicane, I think. There's Boyraxer in 7th. But Jack back up to 9th. There's a good recovery so far. There's Scooby. He's going to have Adam Morris on his tail soon. Up through the final chicane then for the 4th time. Now I'm behind. Jack has finally got back past Envoy Extreme for 8th place. His next target is Boyraxer in the BMW, just up ahead of him. And then he's got a big plateau because he got 7 seconds to make up then to get to Adam Morris. As we continue to watch this pair go through the first corner. Oh, a big twitch from Boyraxer. That's going to allow Jack up the outside now of the turn 2. And he's looks like he's done him, but then he has done him actually. He's gone around the outside of turn 2. That's a brilliant move from the Nissan there. Off Jack, he's now up into 7th. Brilliant move then from Jack as he tries to claw his way back up after that first lap on the start line incident. 2 effective retirees in this race. Edu didn't even start the race, and Whitford has retired as well. Scooby G still sat in 5th place. This is a good drive from him. He's got 2 positions from him to Jack, so he's got a nice little gap for points. Jim still leads though from Jamie and Fraser. Those have been your consistent top 3, and no one's really closing in on anyone at the moment. Boy Rex has lost about 3 seconds to Jack, and he's now got Omega right behind him. On board with Omega as we come up to the final corner of the circuit. Oh, and Omega's gone round off the brakes and the back end's broke. He's now lost our place to Envoy Extreme as well, so more work to be done from the defending champion. So, got on board here with Jamie. Here's the cockpit view from the Nissan, the right-hand drive. Going down towards the climb curve, he's got the sister car in front of him. Different line through the climb chicane that for Jamie, and it's a bit quicker as he comes over the hill and through Butte and into the Villeneuve chicane for the 6th time of 15. Just trying to get better exits than Jim here. Jamie's in quite a strong position right now. He's 4th in the title race, but he's taking points out of everyone he needs to right now. And Morris just starting to lose touch a little bit here, Scooby. As he's not normally in the Group A Taurus, as he almost loses the back end through the hairpin right. Oh, and Jim's had an issue. What has happened to Jim? He has spun it at the final chicane. Not ideal that for Jack in reality here, because there's another place for Scooby. But Jamie FL30 now leads here at Zolder. And Jim has a cone. He used to be stuck under his bumper there to fly off in the background. But Jim, a costly error here, and I don't think it was really forced upon. But here comes Jamie FL30, currently the leader now here at Zolder in his Nissan as he goes up through the chicane. He's got Fraser behind him. Then he's got Slider Gas in 3rd. Scooby G is in 4th. Adam Morris is 5th. RS Jim now down to 6th with Jack in 7th. And right now he's not going to get any higher than that 7th place. Bit side-by-side action here as Boy Raxa tries to fend off Omega here. Over the hill through the long left-hander. Can Omega keep it there for the Villeneuve chicane? I think he can. It's going to give him quite a tight line through. Boy Raxa might be able to get a good launch out. Oh, and Omega has made a mistake on the way out. Losing the back end just a little bit. Having to sort out, and Boy Raxa goes back past for 8th place. Hit the brakes through the right-hander. Through the left, through the right. Now up to the final chicane of the circuit. Can Omega get a move done here? They hit the brakes. Oh, and the back end moving around on Boy Raxa's BMW. And a good launch out from Omega. He's going to go past the BMW in the straight line after that traction zone. Good move from Omega. He needs to do that to keep himself within this title picture. And Fraser has lost a place now to Slider Gas. So maybe a slight mistake from the Nissan man. But he's right on the tail of Slider here. Slider Gas currently the fastest man on the circuit. Not necessarily overall, but from that last set of lap times, he set to 140.7. Look like Tim in the pits. Tim off in the gravel at turn number 2. And Tim retiring, which is a big shame. Score points if you finish the rounds. So Jamie still leads from Slider Gas at the moment, but Slider Gas does have a penalty. Let's have a catch up on those penalties at the moment. Slider Gas, a 4-second penalty. That's a big hit at the moment for him. Fraser doesn't have one. Scooby has a 2-second one along with Adam Morris now. Envoy Extreme with a 1-second penalty. Jim is almost within that. He actually is within that 2-second window of Adam Morris. RSGM now trying to hunt down Adam Morris. Within that 2-second window, that penalty, and he'll be looking to get inside the 2-second penalty window of Scooby here. Fraser could now, doesn't have to risk actually trying to push the car to catch up with Slider Gas at the moment. Up over the hill, through the left hand now for RSGM. Gradually closing in on Adam Morris. And Jack seems to have had another issue or something, or he's been caught by Omega massively at the moment. This is going to get spicy here for 7th, and it's not what Jack needed. And RSGM has now overtaken Adam Morris. Flash of light, so maybe Adam's just let him through knowing that Jim's quicker. Really no point in trying to fight him. Just let him through and go after Scooby. No, Scooby does have that at least 2 seconds worth of penalties here. And Jim is only 3 seconds away from him. But back with this fight, Omega is gradually catching Jack as he goes in. Bit of a tap, and that is Omega round. Both of them have gone round. And Jack will resume in that position. Bit of a late lunge from Omega. Didn't really seem confident that that was going to stick in the first place. And yeah, the door just shut on him. Never made it in time for the door to stay open, and now he's gone wide through turn 3 and into turn 4. That's going to affect his pace. Jack feeling the need to go defensive immediately, then realising he doesn't need to after Omega went wide. But at the front, we've got a battle on our hands because Slider Gas has overtaken Jamie. He's going really well now. He's got 4 seconds to make up, but Jamie will not let that go easily. on board with the Nissan man. Into the final chicane for the 11th time of 15. And Extreme has now finally got a penalty. Probably for the Villeneuve chicane. He's around the back of shock shaft there, which is interesting. Jamie, the loose rear end on that Nissan, really causing him issues. That Audi looks as stable as you like. This is now a game for Jamie to really knuckle down, make sure that that gap does not extend further than 4 seconds, because if it does, Slider Gas could still win this. He's been taking a second out of everyone, minimum every single lap. From last one where Jim was quickest with a 141.1. This is Jack, he's got Omega still behind him for the 7th place. They're not really catching at him. So a bit of a lonely race until now for Jack. He's had to really fight for this. Battling back up through the field after that very unlucky start. Over the hill and into the Villeneuve chicane for the 12th time for these two. And Jamie is losing a lot of time to Slider Gas. He's now nearly 2 seconds down. Not good for the man in the skyline. Jim has lost a bit of time on this lap though. He's now 5 seconds down on Scooby pretty much. So either Jim's had a bad one or Scooby has really started picking up the pace, and Scooby hasn't really started picking up the pace. This is just a bad lap from Jim, a 145.5, so definite mistakes appearing here where he's trying to push. Good evening Matthew, how are you mate? Good to see you watching the stream. In time for the finale of the race here. We're on lap number 13 of 15. As they head down the straight for RS Jim. He's taking a lot of time now to Scooby. This battle for 7th though still carries on. 1.2 the gap now between Jack and Omega. Omega just not able enough yet to find a way past. There's Boyrax at 14. He's currently in 9th place in the BMW. Not a good track for rear-wheel drive, but Jamie is on the verge of losing this race. Slider Gas has a 4-second penalty. Good luck at uni, mate. Wishing you all the best for that one. If your brother does join, it'd be interesting to see how quick he is. But Jamie, a bit of a mistake that for Slider Gas, only a 142.1, but Jamie still lost time on that lap. He still lost around 5 tenths. Slider Gas needs to get his head down. He could still win this, even with a 4-second penalty. Let's have a look. Fraser's got behind Scooby now, so, and Jim's jumped the pair of them. Fraser needs to now get within 2 seconds of Scooby so that he can claim a top 4. So Fraser, something's happened to him, making him lose that podium spot now. Jack's gradually gapping Omega now. Still that gap of a second there or thereabouts. But at the front, and can Jamie sustain the pace to stay within 4 seconds of Slider Gas? Slider Gas has been really quick so far this race in the Audi. The Audi's looked very, very solid. He's going to have one more lap to try and pull out at about a 1.4 second gap. Jamie, all he has to do is keep pace with Slider Gas, and Jamie will win this race. It's like an interesting race, really. It's a race to see whether Jamie can keep that gap in. There's Fraser. He is now 3 seconds behind Scooby. So at the moment, Scooby could keep that. Oh no, Scooby's got a 3-second penalty now. So Fraser needs to pull out another 4/10 here to get inside that zone. Behind, and Jack still has that gap to Omega. He's just looking a bit more comfortable now in that battle. There's Jim. There's Scooby. Fraser now 3.5 behind Scooby. He's not quite finding the pace we expect him to at this point of the race. But this man is doing a fantastic job so far of keeping that gap now to Slider Gas. See the back end not sliding out so much. Jumping through the Villa chicane. This is going to be very difficult now for Slider Gas to pull out another second during this final sector. Oh, but it's not anymore. Jamie's in the barriers. That could have just cost Jamie the race win. Slider Gas now 4.3 up ahead. This gap is now crucial. Slider Gas looks like he's got a nice entry and exit now through the final chicane. Slider Gas, has he still got that 4-second penalty? Oh, he's 6 seconds now, so he's still not going to win the race. Slider Gas will cross the line first, but it will be Jamie F430 who wins in Zolder. And an interesting side bunny hop. Jim will come home in third. Here comes Scooby. Has he got enough time to Fraser? Fraser crosses the line, stays in fifth. Adam Morris and sixth. Fraser actually had a penalty himself. Here comes Omega. He's done Jack on the final corner. Omega will come home in 7th place with Jack in 8th. Really not happy, I don't think, for Jack, especially after that start. Boy Raxa will come home for 9th, and the only two-wheel drive to survive, Zolder. He crosses the line in 9th. Here comes Shockshaft in 10th place. And it's just Envoy Extreme then to finish off this race. So provisional results then. Jamie will take the win courtesy of a 6-second penalty for Slider Gas. Jim has got 3rd place, Scooby 4th, Fraser 5th, Adam Morris is in 6th, Omega 7th, Jack is in 8th, Boy Rex in 9th, Shockshaft is in 10th. With Envoy Extreme 11th, Tim retired on lap 7, Whitford retired, and Edu did not start the race after a disconnect. I think it was a disconnect anyway. So, round number 8 has come to an end. Next week, next Monday, it's Ruin Leasart in the Mercedes 190Es, and it's the top 4 reverse grid. That's right, this is going to be a very difficult race for the top 4. Old F1 circuit, it's going to be an absolute belter. But from the Group A's, that is the end. Next up is the Monday Night Tourers for the modern touring cars. And that'll be live in about 10 minutes time, so do stick around for that one. But from the Group A Tours here tonight, thank you for watching this race at Zolder. Enjoy the rest of your evening.